Welcome back, guys. This is Automotive Anonymous. That's a 2024 Subaru Outback Limited XT. That means it's the second highest of the 9 trim levels, and it's got the turbo, which is what the XT stands for. And today I'm going to review it, so we're going to do a walk around, go through the specs, initial driving impressions, 0 to 60 with the GPS, and then our final thoughts to decide, is the Limited XT or an Outback in general worth your time and money? Big thanks to Twin Falls Subaru for letting me borrow it for the day. I'll link them below if you're interested. Otherwise, we're going to dive right in with this review and try to find out why 140 to 180,000 people buy the Subaru Outback every single year in North America. This is still the 6th generation of the Subaru Outback, which is based off of the Subaru Legacy sedan platform. We're in the 5th model year now. And the only big changes for 2024 related to the Subaru Outback Wilderness. I have a video on that. There's some interesting updates, things that we've really wanted. Otherwise, we still have the non-functional front cladding and the basic updates from last year in 2023. This is a color that I like to call green, although Subaru likes to call it autumn green metallic. There is a lot of sparkle, a lot of flake in the paint, and it doesn't blend in maybe as well as they were thinking with the green shrubbery and bushes and trees behind us. Although it does do really well, even if it's not autumn, you're going to be enjoying this color year round. Keep in mind, a base Outback, of which there are 9 trim levels for 2024, starts at about $29,000 before destination, but a Limited XT loaded one like this starts at about 40 grand. The way this one sits though, it's closer to 43. When you go Limited XT like this, a few of the extra features you get as standard are the moonroof, the navigation, the heated steering wheel, and the driver focus mitigation system, which is basically another safety feature that likes to beep at you and it thinks you're not paying attention, or when your eyes leave the road for more than 0.3 of a second. The Outback is about 16 feet long. It has roughly a 9-foot wheelbase, basically 6 feet wide, 5.5 feet tall when the hatch is closed. The standard one like this is 8.7 inches of ground clearance. If you get the Outback Wilderness, you have 9.5, and then it has a 370 final drive ratio, whereas the Wilderness has a 444. These can tow up to about 3,500 pounds. If it has a tow package, they weigh about 3,900 pounds. And then they can do a full circle in about 36 feet, which is fairly agile for a 16 feet long vehicle. The gas tank is located right there on the passenger side. When the vehicle is unlocked, the door is unlocked. But when you lock the car, that's locked, so no one's gonna be siphoning your gas, at least not without probably setting off the panic alarm. And then these are an 18.5 gallon tank. The current model year is rated for about 22 city, 29 highway. So when you're road tripping, you're gonna be getting about 530 miles before you have to pull over and fill up. These are a top safety pick and a 5-star crash test rated vehicle, so they're going to keep you and your family safe. You probably noticed all the sensors on the back bumper, the turn signals, and the blind spot monitoring on the mirror, the front sensors, and then you have the Gen 3 eyesight system, which is a double camera. Kind of interesting, only the Touring gets the Gen 4, which is 3 cameras, as well as the new Impreza, which is the lowest model by Subaru, but the 2024s actually have a better eyesight system than the Outback apparently. And then you have your basic heads-up display that just flashes some lights at you. This has a lot of active and passive safety features, things that will help keep you and your family safe and avoid accidents. But knowing that it's a 5-star crash test rated vehicle, if it were in an accident, it's better than the average vehicle. If you like the color green, if you like the Subaru Outback, or you like my video, please consider giving it a big thumbs up. Your act of kindness really goes a long way. Thank you guys. I'm sure you guys are ready to get inside the vehicle and move on with this review. So it does have a Yokohama Ava GT all-season tire. That's a 225 60/18, and it does have a spare tire in the back, you'll see soon. Keyless entry, proximity key feature, so leave that puppy in your pocket, and then you can come over to the driver or the shotgun seat and lock or unlock the car. The door panel of this Outback looks pretty good. A lot of black materials though, but everything your heart could desire if your heart desires. Light colored stitching and piano black around the door handle. Otherwise, you have memory seats, 2 settings, Harman Kardon speakers, bottle holder, some snacks. Seriously, Subaru, just extend the door panel, give us some more space. Otherwise, this could fit at least 7 fingers if you have a really big hand. Otherwise, medium-sized Subaru on the plastic door sill. All-weather mats, rubberized pedals, hood release, fuse box, easy to pop off. And then you have some extra settings there. Lighting stock on the left, trip reset, some wood trim pieces throughout, and really nice heated 10-way power adjusted leather seats with the moonroof up top and extendable thigh bolstering. Sitting inside the Limited XT is a really nice place to be. We're going to fire it up with the push button start. Otherwise, very human-centric, very ergonomically designed. Everything's easy to reach, easy to adjust your seating position and your wheel height and telescope features to find somewhere that you like to be. Anyways, here's the screen. We're gonna go through the info display right there. Has quite a few good features. You have paddle shifters on the back for the 8 simulated gears of the CVT, leather wrapped, heated wheel function, very nice in the winter. The horn sounds pretty good. And then you have just your audio and volume controls on the left, adaptive cruise features on the right. If you want to do cruise control without eyesight, go into the cruise control feature and then hold that. This is a little Easter egg secret that not a lot of people know about. Otherwise, it's the 11.6-inch screen. Thankfully, it is wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You can see you have the mitigation system. So it basically stares at you, and if you look away from the road, it's gonna start beeping at you. I don't know, that might be a little bit over the top. I know it beeped at me a few times coming over here, and I thought I was pretty actively paying attention. But anyways, you can go through the screen. It works fairly well. Not a lot of us are overly in love with the screen. Huh? It looks like it has 2 more. Oh, that's for the widgets. My bad. X mode up top. And auto start stop, you're gonna have to turn that on and off every time you want. Otherwise, electronic parking brake. You have a 3 amp and a 2.4 amp plug-in aux wireless charger. Honestly, I don't like that feature on my Outback Wilderness. It doesn't work very well with my iPhone. It just makes it hot and barely charges it. I'd rather just plug it in. And then the reverse camera. Trajectory lines do move. The camera does not take up the full 11.6-inch screen because of the height, how vertical it is. And it's not the best quality one I've seen, but it could be worse. There are other ones that are worse. You have 2 big cup holders, and then you have the dual stage center console with the 12-volt down there. It's actually pretty big for this class, especially where this comes from the Legacy sedan. And then you have the compass. You have auto-dimming mirrors that also work for the side mirrors. And then you have your HomeLink features, which are really nice. Sunglass holder. And your moonroof, which is easy to tilt up or to slide, or whatever you want to do. Subaru gives you the option. I do wish it was bigger, but it comes from the Legacy, which is a sedan. So it's about half the size of what the Subaru Forester has. But overall, a nice place to be. Let's turn it off, hop in the back. The back door panel follows the same theme. You even get the same soft touch materials. That looks really nice, and some black piano type of outline. You have a little bit of a grip on the door sill in case you have to get up to those rails, which do fold out. They're not as heavy capacity as the Wilderness, which are 700-pound rated, but they could do a couple 100 pounds, and they're built in, which is pretty nice of Subaru to offer you. The seats are really comfortable, leather, 60/40 split, pretty lightweight, even with the rubber cover on the back. And then sitting in behind myself at 5'11", I sit behind my driver position with probably 3 or 4 inches of room. I have a double mat pocket with the pamphlets, so I can be a backseat driver. Ventilation, heated seats, some plugins, and then Subaru back seats can recline probably 8 or 9 degrees at least. So Subaru Outbacks have one of the nicest back seats at any price point, especially knowing that this one's only about 43, 44 grand. It's pretty phenomenal what it offers you. And then you have a pretty decent center armrest. Although I do wish that this was positioned right here so that you and your passenger could have your arm on it, and cup holders down the center. But I'm not the Subaru engineer, so you better be watching this video. I want to see that on the next one. Otherwise, let's hop out of it and go around to the hatch and show you what it has to offer. Back here, there's 4 ways to get into the hatch. You can either climb over the back seats, you can push the button on the remote, push the button under here, or push the button on the dashboard, and any of those will lift it right up. I'm gonna be lazy and push the remote, but keep in mind, you have the pin code back here. I have a video on how to set that. It's a really cool feature to help you get into the vehicle without having the keys on you. Power lift. There we go. And I'll show you how high it opens. It does get a couple feet higher than the roof, so keep that in mind if you're in a garage, if you have a garage door or a roof, things to watch out for. Otherwise, you have about 33 cubic feet back here, maybe 32 on this model that has the small Harman Kardon sub. And then when you fold the seats down or you drop them with the handle, you get about 75, so you can actually car camp back here because you have just over 6 feet of room from the back of the front seats when they're pushed forward to where the hatch lining is. Otherwise, back here you have the all-weather mats, you have some bag clips, you obviously have the handles, you have a 12 volt, a little mesh pocket behind the other wheel well, and then this one has the bag that you can hook up to store some more stuff in a mesh pocket. With that out of the way, you can easily open up the pretty big floor, see all of your tools, and see the spot for where the sunshade could hide if you don't want that to be up. You have your scissor jack, and then you have your spare tire with a little bit more storage down there. What are you guys hiding down there? Keep it legal, but post it, comment it below. And then up top, you can lock it and lower it, or you could just lower it, or you could use the remote to lower it. And you can even set the hatch height at different positions with the key. I also include how to do that on my video about the pin code button. Now if you're riding back seat passenger side, you still have a nice door panel identical to the driver back seat. You have the double mat pockets with the pamphlets again, so either backseat person could be a backseat driver, anyone but the center seat. And then the 60 split, a little bit heavier than the 40, but really not too bad. And you can see just how flat those lay. Almost flat. There's only a little bit of an incline towards the front of the car, but otherwise nice place to be. And again, proximity features to lock and unlock the vehicle. Otherwise, if you're gonna be riding shotgun, you have a nice door panel, nothing new, nothing, you know, out of the blue. You know what to expect. Harman Kardon again is advertised. Medium-sized Subaru again, and then you're missing a few power options, but you still have a really nice heated leather seat. Just keep in mind, if you're riding shotgun, if you're being chauffeured, you don't get thigh bolstering. If you want thigh bolstering, you better be the driver. And then you have a little bit of storage right there on the side of the transmission tunnel, as well as above the glove box that is wood lined, really nice. Locking glove box, adequately sized, and then there's a 12 volt back there. But I know what you guys are waiting for. You want to see the turbo. You want to see what it looks like and where it resides in the engine bay. Let's pop the hood. Under the hood, there's a lot to look at. There's a lot going on, but it's honestly really well engineered, really well designed. It makes 260 horse, 277 peak pound-feet of torque that starts as low as 2,000 RPM, so it's pretty punchy, especially around town. You can see air goes through the grill, through the filter, through all the piping and plumbing, the magical turbocharger to get through the intercooler, to go through the throttle body, and then the intake runners up top. You can notice there is even more ventilation to cool down the intercooler through the grill, and Subaru eats gas. It takes 87 octane, but it also likes to eat butterflies and moths when it gets the chance. That intercooler actually gets pretty hot from the outside, and honestly, I wish instead of the prop rod, Subaru would have charged us $4 more to give us some automatic shocks, because on a hot day like today, you get about 2nd degree burns opening the hood. But anyways, you have the oil dipstick, the serpentine belt, the alternator, the plastic covering to keep your fingers out of it, all of your filters and reservoirs throughout, and then your battery, so everything's easy to get to, easy to access, and you can really see what's going on this model. You can do a lot of basic maintenance fairly easily with how much room you have, easily change the serpentine belt. The biggest problem you'd have is changing those spark plugs or anything other that's a major repair. Let's drop the hood. It's time to teleport and time travel to one of my favorite roads to show you how it does and how fast it is. Initial driving impressions of the Limited XT. It's pretty quick. You can really feel that boost pressure coming on early. Visibility is fantastic because it's Subaru Outback based off of the Subaru Legacy sedan. Subarus are known for big windows. Lots of safety features. Good all-wheel drive, comfortable rides, and lots of ground clearance. So even though it's a hot summer day today, we're just driving down a country road. If you were in the winter, if you were driving through some snow or some ice, you're gonna be pretty well off in an Outback. I have an Outback Wilderness. It does exceptionally well. Even the Crosstrek that I used to own a few years back, that was fantastic. The all-season tires that come on these do a really good job. But otherwise, just sitting in here, sitting inside the Limited, it's a really comfortable place to be. We don't have the heated wheel on today, but those do get fairly warm. The heated seats don't get as warm though on Subarus, but they do the job if you just like a little bit of a warm touch and you don't like your bum to be hot. Otherwise, door panel armrest is comfortable. Same as the center armrest on the console. You have a lot of features, you have a lot of storage compartments, you have a lot of practicality that comes with the Outback. You can haul people, you can haul stuff, you can haul butt with the turbo. You can really have a pretty good time. These seats are pretty comfortable. It's easy to adjust with the 10-way power options, and the extended leg bolstering is a pretty cool feature as well. Basically, you can take these on a long road trip and you can go where you need to go. Having about a 9-foot wheelbase, being about 16 feet long, they're a good size. They're not huge. They're not like a 19-foot long full-size truck, but they are a little bit bigger than the 15-foot long Crosstrek, Forester, Mazda CX-5, or other smaller compact crossover unibody CUVs. I think this is a really good one. The LED headlights are fantastic. It's a top safety pick plus, 5-star crash test, rated all around. It's gonna keep you and your family safe, and then when you're jamming out, listen to the Harman Kardon upgraded speakers that this one has. You're gonna be having a good time because the glass and just the design of the interior cabin is pretty well insulated on this. A little bit more so than the average vehicle, and so then having deeper depth upgraded speakers, you get pretty good sound quality. I don't feel like the bass is super strong. Maybe if you turn that out of proportion up and you have a bassy song, you're gonna enjoy it. But it's not like it's gonna be shaking the glass, knocking things off the dash, whatever you're doing. Overall though, it's a really good time. Let's do another little acceleration. Easily gets going around speed. We're about a mile above sea level today, density altitude. And having a turbo compressor, you only lose about half of the horsepower you otherwise would through a naturally aspirated engine that can't compensate as well. So honestly, turbo Outbacks feel very punchy. They feel very powerful, and you feel like you have a lot of control with the capability that this vehicle has. But anyways, guys, I've rambled on long enough. Leave your thoughts, comments, opinions below. Tell me, are you considering one? Are you going to drive one? Have you driven one? Do you own one? And I'm gonna go find my private road to do a 0 to 60. 0 to 60, of course, traction control's off. I'm gonna brake rev the CVT, build some boost pressure, and we'll see what it can do. I'll verbalize the true 0 to 60, and then I'll post a GPS graph right after. Keep in mind, density altitude's 5,400 feet, so we're basically just over a mile above sea level today. Even though this is turboed, it's still compressing less oxygen-dense air, so we're still down on power about 10%. So magazine ratings are honestly irrelevant. We'll see what the real-world testing results are. Here we go. That came pretty quick. True 0 to 60, 6.9 seconds. Here's the GPS graph, and then our final thoughts. Final thoughts of the 2024 Subaru Outback Limited XT is it feels like all the other Subarus. Thankfully, there's 9 trim levels for you and your family to choose from. If you are one of the roughly 140 to 180,000 people this year considering one. Honestly though, guys, check out the competition, make sure you're making an informed decision and you're buying what you actually are going to be happy with. I have an Outback Wilderness. I have 28,000 miles on it, and it's been a phenomenal vehicle. Would I have bought it without the turbo? Personally, I probably wouldn't have, just because I like performance, I like having adequate passing power. But honestly, the Outback platform is so well set up, so well designed. It makes really good use of its space, and it can haul a family of 5 around pretty well with enough cargo capacity in the back, towing capacity, and roof strength to hold the extra stuff that you need to take with you. So what are your thoughts, guys? Have you owned an Outback? Have you owned any of the 6 generations, or are you considering buying one in the near future? Let me know in the comments. Like this video if you want to show support, or if it was helpful to you in any way. Subscribe if you haven't already. A lot of you guys watch a lot more than subscribe, but I do see your comments and I appreciate talking with you guys. It's really fun to stay connected. Otherwise, it's a good vehicle. It's all-wheel drive. It has a CVT, but it seems to be one of the best CVTs on the market. With that said, take care, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week.